Okay. So it's been a while, and I haven't been hosting because the world's gone cuckoo. Yes, I'm reading my cards constantly, but I kind of starting to get a little bit more back into some other things via, tarot studies and things like that. Found this fabulous book. Found a new bookstore, that's always the love of my life already. But the great thing is, if you find a great book that actually can give you a lot of history about stuff, or you can see what's actually out there, it's so fantastic. Um, so this actually has so many snippets and so much history. In addition to, there are so many types of tarot in here. It's mind-boggling, let me tell you. So you get to go through each card here, and you also, excuse all my little notes here, get to see how many different ways people have interpreted things, which is my pet quirk. And seeing how it was interpreted, how did it start off to get to where the interpretation is what it is now. So I'm going through all this and I'm just loving it. I don't want to give away too much because I think this is something that's actually, if you're a tarot reader or if you're a tarot enthusiast, this is something to get so you can really understand like the literal what the fuck. So in addition to which, as a result, strangely enough, I ran into this deck the other day, and as we all know, Los Grebo is like my, one of my major quirks with all this type of business. These are like an old school tarot set reprint from way back in the day, and it goes into like a lot of historical stuff. And if you're like a history nut, and you also want to know, like, in addition to that, how that played into tarot, how tarot started, and the origins and so forth. This is one of those things I like when they make historical-based reprints, and you can get the actual, more or less the ones. These are numbered sets, apparently, in this particular one. So if you can find it, great. Highly recommend. If you're like me, some people just need a basic set and they're good and they're gone and they're out of there. Like me, I've got everything. I've got the Tattoo Tarot, which is extremely modern, very what do I want to say, open-minded. So if you have issues with something first of all, it's bizarre if you're a tarot reader. Secondly, yeah, this is one of the most diversified, inclusive, that's the word I'm looking for, inclusive tarot decks I've ever seen in my life. So I was really pleased about that. Found this one recently, the Lisboa Tarot, which has a very modern art vibe to it. So this is also very interesting to see something with a lot of very calming energy, one. But at the same time, it does have a little bit of that throwback vibe. But it's a great one, kind of almost like if you needed to get to roots of tarot, because it's not overly, what do I want to say, just elaborate. Unlike my other little friend down here, it kind of gets to the basics. So I would highly recommend in terms of like if you just need to see the basic principles of what needs to be on the tarot in order to make it make sense. This is kind of a good way to look at it. It's a little bit more modern, so people who like things modern versus antique, knock your socks off with that one. And of course, we know I've got a bunch of different tarot decks, and I'm still looking for some others that I'm used to have before all the COVID and all that other crap took place. But just FYI, I mean, I can't, then they use all modern references, they use the antique references. They literally will tell you what each of these decks are and where they came from. The history of some of the stuff is just and things like sometimes you can see things before they got changed, which is what I like, because sometimes these tarot cards were actually quite a bit different. This looks obviously very cheerful scene, but when you can see what it started off as before it kind of evolved into a whole bunch of other stuff, very interesting indeed. So, and then why this and not that, how each person chose to interpret. Some people are very artistic and colorful, and some of these things are, obviously a whole different story. So why did the artist choose to focus on what he chose to focus on versus other elements of the cards, which I always find fascinating. So, and you can also see how they got kind of drawn into the whole playing card, because there is that. I know there's kind of a little bit of a quirk about, or a debate about that, but I do believe that the tarot is how playing cards came about, because it's a little bit just too close to whatever. But yeah, thought I'd get on here and post that and get everybody aware. And now that life and all the things in the world are stranger than fiction, more often than not, yeah, so that was something I did recently, and I'm very pleased with it. And questions, answers, comments, let me know if you have a particular tarot deck, or you're looking for a particular tarot deck with certain elements to it. Please leave me a comment or a question, because I've seen enough. I've been doing this since 1980. There's no effing tarot deck I haven't seen. I have a lot of reference books here. I'm happy to help. Okay? All right. Y'all have a good day now. You hear?